Okay. Hey, we're
All
live.
right.
Hey,
Hi,
everyone.
everyone.
Hey, everybody. It's Nick Baldwin, and I've got Leslie Jackson. Say hi, Leslie.
Jackson. Hi, everyone. Super excited to be here.
Introduce yourself, Leslie, to those who
Yeah,
don't
sure.
know who you are.
I know. Who is this Leslie Jackson? So I've been with Keller Williams for about, I don't know, like 8 years or so. I joined a high volume team when I first started and worked my way into a market center tech trainer, then was a regional tech trainer for Colorado. So super excited to be here. And then decided to just sidestep and consult with Nick full time. I have two kiddos and I live in Colorado. But yeah, I've trained high volume teams, agents like yourself, and also help market centers grow.
Love it. That's such a good story. I'm Nick Baldwin. I was a regional tech trainer. I was a team leader. I'm still an agent. I live in Michigan. I'm from New Jersey. I'm also co-founder of LabCoat Agents. Thank you for being here. Today, we're going to talk about the consumer app, the elusive KW consumer app that everyone is just like, oh my God.
I know.
I just can't
You know
figure.
what? And I think today, Nick, we're gonna you know, go into like busting myths, right? Like
Yeah,
the
myth
consumer
bust.
doesn't the consumer app doesn't work. I can't share it, things like that. I don't know how to log in. We're gonna solve all that for you today so that there's no more confusion.
Yeah, have you ever seen the show Mythbusters? That's what this is an episode.
Yes. Yes.
So for those of you watching on Facebook and on Zoom, do us a favor. Type in the chat if you're using the consumer app. So let us know with a yes or a no in the chat or in the comments if you're using it. And if you're not using it, let us know why you're not using it. Because I love to kind of get inside the brain of agents to find out,
Yeah.
why. Okay, so Tom says that he doesn't know how. Al says he's kind of using it.
There's some bareleys.
Yeah,
Nope,
so
not
a little
really,
bit.
rarely.
Lorraine
Not
says my
using it.
clients prefer the info on Redfin or Zillow. Okay, great. That's good to know. Elizabeth says that she's new and needs to learn how to navigate it. Cheryl says she needs training. Okay, great. So not familiar with it enough. Okay, great. I love the part where it said, I love the person who said that her clients prefer Redfin or Zillow because there's more info, which is actually untrue. There's
Yeah.
actually more info on our app.
Yes.
Yeah, because of
Yep.
our strategic partnerships. What kind of
Yep.
strategic partnerships do we have, Leslie?
Oh, are you asking me? I thought you were asking the
Yeah.
crowd.
No, what kind of strategic partnerships do we have?
I'm like, yeah, totally. Um,
Like, hi,
coming
we're on
back
a
to you.
webinar.
Hi, I'm here. I'm exactly. Nextdoor, you guys. If you don't know about Nextdoor and the partnership with Nextdoor, it's incredible, and you all are missing out. And so today we're going to like just solve all those. It doesn't work. It doesn't have enough info in your head, and you're gonna walk away and be like, this app is a bomb.com
Yeah.
because Nextdoor has provided all of the neighborhood boundaries within the entire US for you so that you can give your consumer hyper local information. Because guess who doesn't do that? Rhymes with billow.
Zillow. Yeah,
Yep.
so let's jump into the app and show you guys what's happening. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments on Facebook and drop them in the questions on Zoom so we can get to your questions in real time. So let me share my screen and I'm going to hold on. Let me know if you guys can see this. Hold on. Can you see this? No, probably not. 1 second. Am I
Not
sharing?
yet.
What can you
Nope, we
see?
don't. Just your lovely face.
Can you see this?
Now we can see your screen. Yep. Now we can see your entire screen, Nick. So maybe,
Yeah, I'm going to do this.
you know, that funny desktop photo of you. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. Can you see that?
Yes, yes, sir. It looks so much better. Nice
Okay.
and clean.
Phew. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Okay. So here's the app. It's on my computer. So let's just kind of show you guys let's explain what's going on here. So when you open the app, pretty basic stuff. You've got houses for sale. You have a map. You can, if I zoom in, what starts to happen? That's when the neighborhoods start to pop up. So this is what your consumers are going to see. They're going to see these neighborhoods on the screen, and it's going to look familiar to them if they're on Nextdoor. Nextdoor is a social media site that is a collection of neighborhoods, probably like 1 million of them at this point across the country, and people join the neighborhoods when they live in them. And so we have partnered with Nextdoor, and we've been given Nextdoor neighborhood information on our website. So we're basically like able to figure out hyper local neighborhood real estate data. So it's not just information on a zip code level or a town level, it's information on a neighborhood level. So
Well, and Nick, let's also,
down.
yeah, sorry. Let's also keep it real. People like your consumer, your clients, people don't search in zip codes, they search in neighborhoods, right? They don't say, hey, Nick, can you pull up 80123 for me? I'm looking at 80123.
Yeah,
That is like,
I don't even know my own zip code.
Yeah.
Let alone one I want to search in.
But it could be so vast, right? Consumers want to live in a very particular area. So this is why it's going to benefit you. And this is how you can have a competitive edge on other people who don't have this kind of information, AKA other brokerages.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So let's look obviously up here. Well, up here on the upper right-hand corner, you can see an option to look at a list view. So if you just want to look at houses on a list and not on a map, you can obviously do that. I'm just going to show you some basic stuff first about the app. So let's just do a listing. Okay. So if I wanted to look at a listing, let me find a pretty one. This is a pretty one. If I'm going to do a listing, let's just click on it. And here's some information on the listing. And let me click on the photos. So just click on the main photo at the top. And then I've got a whole bunch of photos that I can look at. Ooh, that's a very green kitchen. And if I want to make a photo bigger, I just click it. Super easy to navigate that and click out of it. So now I'm going to be looking at just a listing page. So you've got listing price, criteria, address, open house. If I want to save it, I can. If I want to share it, I can. I've got some Keller mortgage information. I've got Keller covered information. Here's just the description of the property. Down here, we see property details and how long it's been listed. If I click see more, we can see more specific things about it. Fireplace, school systems, etc. And a map. We've got driving directions. Now let's get into the driving directions because I'm logged into my app. So when you're logged into your app, your clients can do really cool things. So they can track how long it takes to get to a specific destination. So I see here that it's a 9-minute drive to Keller Williams. It's a 29-minute drive to Penn Station in New York City, which is important to a lot of people looking in this area, Bloomfield, New Jersey. If I want to add a place, let's just I'll type in mall. So Willowbrook Mall is an 18-minute drive from this house. So once I'm logged in and I stay logged in, which most people do, the driving and commute times will always show up on a listing page or a neighborhood page, which I'm going to get into in a little while. We scroll down here, we have schools, public and private. We've got the upcoming open houses, and this is interesting. So this is new, guys. If I click add, if I click add, it will add to my calendar. So that's pretty awesome. Is that new?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yep.
So I can add that to my calendar if I want to. Then I've got mortgage, and then obviously there's more information about the house at the bottom. So that's just what a listing page looks like. So I wanted to show you that on a very basic level. Now I want to show you how to search criteria on a very basic level. So this is how your clients would search different criteria. So click for sale at the top. They can look, they unclick anything they don't want to see. So let's say I want to see active and coming soon. I want to see a price of, 400 and above. I only want to look at houses. And so now I click the list, and it's just a different view of just different houses because I now have a criteria. Okay. So that's what that does. And if I want to save, oh, this is kind of cool. There's a more button. Let me back up. The more button right here. Okay. When I click more, then I'm able to do beds and baths. I can do square footage, lot size, year it was built. I just click on it. I can, oops, gotta move my Zoom screen out of the way. Amenities. So they give you some here. These will only grow with time, but pool, deck, garage, etc. If I want to see only open houses, I can toggle that. Just do this, and it'll show me that there's 9 results for open houses. So you'll see it went from over 20 to now there's 9. Okay, so if I only want to see what the open houses are coming up, and if I want to see price reduced in the last 7 days, so if I want to see if there's any bargains, quote unquote, I just toggle that, and there's nothing that's been reduced in the last 7 days. But if there was, I would see properties reduced in price, which is pretty awesome. So let's do open houses only and show 9 results. And then you'll notice that there's a little calendar on each one. And when I click it, it pops up on the screen. And when I click the house, it then shows me when the open house is. If I scroll down to open houses, I can then add it to my calendar, which is great. So that's how you toggle between different criteria. Is there any questions? Are there any questions in the chat, Leslie?
No, we have one person that we actually have had a couple of people say, like, where do I even find this app? How do I download it? So I've been answering questions like those, Nick, in the chat. Another one that I think we should probably cover, which I told this person we will cover, is they want to know how to set up a search for a client on this.
Okay, so that happens on the command side. So we'll show you that towards the end if you want to see how to set up a saved search. My mom, Roberta Baldwin, commented in the chat on Facebook saying that she just can't get her people to move over to it. That that's mainly because people need to see the value in something. So you have to just understand what the value is with the app, and hopefully through this webinar you'll be able to see that. So now if we want to change the view, like if we don't want to see a drawing of a map, we want to click view, we want to see a satellite, we can do that. Okay, so now it's got the satellite view. And there's also a way when you click view to turn off neighborhoods. So at the bottom here, it says show neighborhoods. If you don't want to see neighborhoods, you can just click turn off the neighborhoods and they go away. If you click view, you can turn on the neighborhoods and they come back. Isn't that amazing, guys? So simple.
Amazing.
It's amazing. Okay, let's.
We have a couple more questions, Nick, if you want to address those real quick.
Yeah, let's talk about them.
Okay, cool. So I think this is something that comes up quite often. So I think this is a great one to just blast out. My issue with Nextdoor is the neighborhoods often make no sense, often are wrong, even for subdivisions. And if an address falls between neighborhoods, is lost with no data. People search by bigger areas and little neighborhoods. Sale history is often wrong because of the issues within the neighborhoods, because the neighborhoods are actually too small sampling. So maybe we talk about just how data comes over, how to get past the neighborhoods that
Yeah,
may not make sense, things of that nature.
that's a great,
Yeah.
it's actually a great, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't a question, it was a comment, a
It's kind of an
concern.
objection. Yeah, a
Well,
little bit of
yeah.
a concern and objection. Yeah.
So you have to understand the neighborhoods are created in Nextdoor, which is an app, a social media app for neighborhoods, and you can only join the neighborhood if you live in it. They're created in Nextdoor by people who live in that neighborhood. So unfortunately, they're created by the general public. So if somebody takes liberties and creates a large neighborhood, or maybe there's a subdivision, they don't capture all of it, that's where the problem happens. There's a couple ways around that. Keller
Yeah.
Williams is working on a way for you guys to create your own neighborhoods. That's just going to take a little bit longer, but they're doing it because we do have the data. Also, within command, on the command side, when you're creating a saved search, you can draw custom dimensions. So you can essentially create your own neighborhood inside of command for saved searches. So we'll go in there in a little while and show you. So like, here's an example. Like, let's say your client, so here's a neighborhood called Broughton Avenue. And I know this is a correct neighborhood because I used to live there and I created that neighborhood long time ago. But let's say like I only have a client that wants to live like in the southern half of Broughton Avenue for whatever reason. The client can click draw and they can do this. They can just draw. And then they're only going to get homes in that specific area. And they can come up here and click save and create their own neighborhood. And then they can choose email notifications. So it's default on weekly, but when they click it, they'll get instant, daily, biweekly, or monthly. So they can do instant and instant, and I have to click save. And so now I've only got that lower half of that neighborhood where I want to live. Instant notifications, so I get them immediately. And if they want to get push notifications, they go to settings. This is on a MacBook, so I can't do it. But within the app, they can turn on push notifications on their phone, so they get it like a text message and not just through email. And then when they click save, there you go, they're good to go. So let's clear this, and then let's jump into what a neighborhood looks like. So the next thing I'm going to show you, is a specific neighborhood within a zip code. So I'm in a zip code 07003, and I have, and as a consumer, I'm kind of interested in living in this little area here. Okay, so let me hold on a second. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, I want to get it perfect so you guys can see. So I'm going to click on Broughton Avenue. I'm going to click on that little dot and that little sign right there. This is Broughton Avenue. Watch what happens when I click on that. Watch what happens around that area to the houses that are listed. They all go away. And all I see are the houses that are for sale in the Broughton Avenue neighborhood. And then I get a bunch of information about what's going on just there. Okay, so this is info that they're not going to see on Zillow or Realtor.com. This next page is only exclusive to us. They're not going to see it anywhere else. So when I click it, or when I scroll up, isn't that cool? It's nice how it scrolls up. Couple things happen here. So We can see average days on market. We can expand it. We can see average home price. We can see average square footage. We can see average sold price. And then we can see all of the homes for sale. We can choose to see only pending. There's no pending. Any open houses, if there were, they would show up. But this is just an easy way for them to see the houses listed in that area. Then when I scroll down, I get to see what people are saying about living in this neighborhood. And it looks like they like lots of dancing. Oh, yeah. It's a historic neighborhood. They're wine lovers. They like to read books. They enjoy live music. It's showing that it's the walkability factor. It's also showing the driving and commute directions again, like I mentioned before. Once you're logged in, you're always going to see those. Then it's going to show the school rankings, and it's going to show Yelp. This is like my favorite aspect of it. We have a Yelp integration, so you can see what restaurants are in the neighborhood, and you can toggle between restaurants, grocery, highlights, and you click on it, you can see it rated on Yelp. So that's a cool feature. So this page essentially has info from 6 different websites. So you're keeping them from having to Google all of this. So you see Yelp, which is one website. Schools, they'll have to go to another website for that. So that's 2 websites. Commute times, they'd have to go to Google for that. Although when they click the 3 little dots next to directions, they can get directions. Okay. What locals are saying, that would be 4 websites. Listings, that would be 5 websites. And then market data, that'd be 6 websites. And they could share this if they want to, copy it and text it to somebody. But that's a neighborhood page, which is pretty awesome. And let me see if I reset all of this. Yeah, I just want to reset.
And I know a lot of people are like really excited about this training, Nick. We're getting so many questions in the Zoom chat right now. And a lot of them are just jumping ahead. Like, when are we going to see this? When are we going to see that?
Oh, what
I promise you guys,
see?
They want to know like how to share the app, what it means when it's branded to them, things of that nature. So we're going to cover all of that, you guys. Right now, we're just going through like your basic search.
So my mother, Roberta, commented in.
Hi, Roberta.
Leslie says hi. She commented in the Facebook chat saying that, oh, I lost it. What'd she say? She said, oh, she set up neighborhood nurtures for her clients, like around where they live, like the 3, 4, or 5 neighborhoods around where they live for neighborhood nurtures. And she said it works really well. She's seeing a very high open rate on those, which is great. Okay, so let me, I'm going to show you guys how to share it. Don't worry. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. I'll just show you now. Okay, I'll just show you now. All right, we're going to go to the More tab, which is at the bottom right-hand corner of your app. And when you click More, you're going to see notifications. Let's see when I click that. Oh, yeah. So push notifications and email notifications. So in the app, you can program it to text out information about new listings. Let's see, history. You can view like all the houses that you recently kind of looked at and saved and so on and so forth. So these are the most recent houses that I looked at over the last, several weeks. And then you have Keller Covered, so they can find homeowners insurance. You got Keller Mortgage, which is branded to you. This pre-approval is branded to you. So if somebody starts to fill out a mortgage application, you'll be notified that they did that. And then you have this affordability calculator, which is pretty sweet. This is one of my favorites. So let's say like, let's do the annual house. Let's see what we're like what we can afford. So let's say we make 250,000 a year. Let's say our monthly debt is like 5,000. Let's say our credit score, you can move, let's say the credit score, well, my credit score is around this. So let's say we're down payment. Sorry, guys. You have a drink of something. Here we go. Nothing that a little Coke Zero won't solve. And let's see, I'm going to do 20% down. I think rates recently went up. Let's say like 4.5%. So this says that I could afford a house for 481,000 with a $2,500 mortgage. You view the breakdown. It gives you all of that information. Mortgage of 1950, property taxes, and then you can start your pre-approval right here, which is pretty cool. And then let's back up. Share the app. Here it is. Click this. I'm on my MacBook, so it looks a little bit differently. But when you click share the app, it'll take you to your text messages, and then you can just share the link. But here, since I'm on my MacBook, I got to click copy. But if I'm on my phone, it's different. It'll like your messages will pop up and you'll be able to send it just like you're sharing anything else. That's how you share it. Sound good, everybody?
I see a got it in our chat. So I think everybody's on board, Nick.
Okay, cool. So let's go back to search and let's show you guys a couple other things. The feed is this at the bottom kind of to the left of center. Click on feed. And this just shows your client like all of their saved searches. It just takes a second to load up if you have a lot of houses in there. So this shows all the saved searches. So here's a saved, oops, oh, let me back up. Hold on. I didn't mean to do that. Let me go back to feed. So this is where your saved searches are and your favorites. And we didn't get into collections, so we'll get into that in a minute. But here's a search, price drops in Colorado Springs. Let's see. And then, oh, homes in Bethany Beach. So all the saved searches that you've created. So if I want to view price drops in Colorado Springs, I would just click view saved search. And then it takes me to all of the houses that are new in that area. Okay. And that's how that works. Let's go back to feed because I want to show you something else that it does. Any other questions going on in the chat that we should know about?
No, I think it's just more like statements, like
Okay.
backing up when we were talking about sharing your app, make sure that you have already claimed yourself as your agent so that when you do share the app, your consumer will open it and it'll say, is this your agent? Would you like to claim this person as your agent? So
Yeah,
just a quick
true.
tip there. Yeah.
True. Very good advice. Yep. So up here, you'll be able to see these different options. So you'll be able to click new. So this will show you any new properties that you've saved that are in your saved searches. And like I said, it just takes a couple seconds there. This will show you if there's any open houses coming up within your saved searches. And it also shows you price changes or status changes, again, in your saved searches. So it keeps you in the loop. I didn't show how to favorite a property, so let's go back and do that, shall we?
Yes, we shall. And for those of you all who are listening, I'm getting this a lot. Where is this recording going to be, Nick? It's going to be in Command Your Conversion. in the Facebook group as well. And I believe we may just send it out as well for those who registered to the webinar.
Yeah, I'm going to email it out to everybody who registered. And the replay is playing right now in the command group. So yes. Okay, so I was going to show you how to save some properties. So let's say this is how you look at it on a list view. I'm sorry, on a map view. This is how you look at it on a list view. Let's say I love this house and I want to save it. And I want to, let's say, hold on a second. Let's say I want to save it to one of my, let's say I want to create a folder. So these are collections. So I'm going to save add another. I'm going to call it Bloomfield, New Jersey homes. And I'm going to just select that. So it's down here at the bottom. Then I'm going to click save. And then let's say I save this one to a collection. And I'll save it to this Bloomfield, New Jersey homes. Where did it go? On the one I just made. Is it at the top? Oh, it's at the top. Bloomfield, New Jersey homes, save. Okay, so I've got those two in my saves. So let's go to feed. And then let's go to collections. And so now I can see Bloomfield, New Jersey homes at the top. So these two I just saved, okay? And here's where it gets kind of cool. So these two, let's say I want to add someone to search for properties with me. So I want to add a friend or a family member. I'm going to go up here to the three dots and I'm going to click down here. It's going to say add a collaborator. And I can add Leslie Jackson. Now I'll put her email in and then I click add. And then Leslie's going to get an email to join me in my home search. And so when Leslie clicks to join the collection, she's going to have to sign up for the website in order to help me with my collaboration. So what happens when someone invites a friend or family member to collaborate on the app with them? When they log in, the agent gets notified that someone has signed up for their consumer app inadvertently by your client adding someone.
It's so amazing. It's like you guys could be like growing your databases passively by showing this feature to your client and saying, and guess who else you get to add? If you want to add like your mother-in-law, people who are interested in your home search, please feel free to add them as a collaborator here. Wink, wink. And then guess what? Your sphere of influence grows, your database grows, and now you're in touch with more people who may hire you later, which is incredible. I love this little trick.
So let's do this. I want to show you guys this too. There's a couple different ways to search. You can, since we have Google integration, we can search by a location. So let's say I want to search homes for sale near Montclair, New Jersey High School. I can search properties near Montclair, New Jersey High School. And what happens is if I click map and then I click view, it'll take me to homes around where the high school is. And if I want to search like Central Park, it'll take me to Central Park and I just zoom in. I can look at houses up and down Central Park. So basically, like all you need to know is a landmark, a school, a location, and it'll take you to that area on the map. And then your clients can then easily click save. And it says properties near Central Park, New York, New York. And they'll get notifications about that. So lots of cool ways that your clients can search for properties. Now, I'm going to stop sharing. And Leslie, do you want to go and show people in Command how to set them up on a saved search and how to do a custom search?
Yeah.
And I'll answer.
Yes, absolutely. Give me 1 second.
Oh,
Yeah,
where's
there's a lot of, I feel like we're getting the same kind of things over and over again. Where do I find my app?
she
I
said
think
she
I have
found
the
it.
old one. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. All right, you guys. I think this is like where all the magic happens. So again, if you've never used our app, oh, you have to enable me, Mr. Man.
Oh, I gotta
Enable me to share my screen.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna head it back into Command, and I'm gonna show you how to create a saved search for your clients, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys are asking this question. So I'm gonna head into my contacts, and then we'll search just my name and give you a quick example on how to do this. It's so easy. And every contact card has this as an option. So I'm gonna head into my name and just show you on the right-hand side, every single person in your command will have this option over here. So you have your timelines, your opportunities, smart plans, tasks, notes, and save searches is the last one. So we're gonna select that one. And right off the bat, you're gonna see a lot of save searches in my command just because I've already created them for myself. However, it's really cool because you're gonna see some that have been created by me as an agent or by me as a consumer, okay? So I'm gonna show you how to create a simple save search for your consumer by selecting Create Save Search in the right-hand corner side of the screen here. And then from here, you just plug and play. It's really cool. So for those of you who are concerned about the neighborhoods not really stacking up correctly, you can go in and draw a custom circle like Nick was showing you earlier on the app. I'm going to go ahead and just do that because these two are pretty obvious. I'm going to select custom and I then select draw on a map. From here, it's going to pull up my location and I get to send, or rather create with this little icon, I get to create my neighborhood for my consumer. Okay, and then I'll select apply. All right, so let's just pretend that's a neighborhood that I know all the boundaries of. I get to set a minimum and a maximum of price. So that's really simple. Ooh, that's a minimum that I don't want. All right, and then a maximum here. And I like this option.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I like this option because you can actually add in keywords like pool, yard, garage to get more purposeful with your search for your person. So I'm going to just leave that blank. Property type, this is really nice too. Lots of options for properties that your consumer is looking for. I'm going to go ahead and unselect these few here, and then just show you you get to select or deselect what you want. And then listing status, you have active, pending, or coming soon. I'm going to deselect pending. Looks great. And then of course we can get more detailed, like with how many beds, how many baths, things of that nature, how large the home should be or shouldn't be, if it has parking. And then of course you have these two options down below, open houses or price reduced. So I'm going to select next. And then for those of you who are like, but the neighborhoods aren't right, we hear it all the time. It's actually, this is a great workaround and a great solution. So if you were to use a custom option, you can, again, like I just did, draw the neighborhood boundaries as you know them as the agent and as a consumer knows them as a consumer, and then title it the neighborhood that you know it to be. Okay, so we'll just call this one Westridge neighborhood, so that when the updates come in to the consumer automatically to their email, it will actually say Westridge neighborhood search. Okay, so just to give you an example, there's always a way. It's just You just need to know how to do it, right? So now I could come in here and I can select the primary email, and then from here select when I would like my consumer to be updated and how often. So I love instant. It says great because they instantly get updated when homes come on the market based on this criteria. And then I'll just select create save search, and that's it. Oh, let's use a different email.
Well, you don't have to create a search for yourself,
Yeah.
but like actually. if
Yeah,
you want.
it's okay. You know, sometimes it's just nice to see the full thing come to
Yeah,
fruition, right?
you're right.
Well, it might just be barking at me. But from there, you'll just select create save search, and then your save searches will be living in here. So it's really nice because the consumer will get those searches, those updates whenever you want them to when homes come on the market. And as the agent in command, you get to create that save search just like you would typically for like an MLS search. You can come in here and even edit the search for them. So see how it says created by Leslie Jackson? That's me as an agent. I'm going to come in and then update my criteria based on how things have changed for my person search. Cool. What kind
I
of questions
love
do we
it.
have?
Let's
Good.
see. For the save searches for contacts, do the clients have to log in to the app and your website, or just the app? So the app and the website are one and the same. So once they create an account on your website, all they have to do is sign in on the app, and vice versa.
Yep. So that same login for the site is the same login for their app. Okay. And I think there's a lot of people that get confused by that too, Nick. So I'm glad that person asked. Yeah.
Also, Kelly says, what if people are moving out of state and don't know what neighborhood? Not sure if I follow that 100%, but that did give me, it did remind me of something I wanted to remind you guys of. Our apps are nationwide. So if you have friends and family in other states, they should all have your app, because they can search for houses all over the country. And if they want to see a property, there you go. There's a referral. Can you save more than one area or city for the consumer? You can save multiple neighborhoods, but you can only save one zip code at a time. So you'll have to create like more than one search.
Right.
Yep.
Yep. So multiple searches for multiple things. You'll just go through those same steps that I just showed you several times.
Right. So if someone wants 2 zip codes, just create 2 searches.
Yep.
For them. Great. So that looks like all of the questions. Hope you guys got some value, and I want you to dig into the consumer app because it is a really great tool. It's a lot of fun to play around with. Let me see if there's any more questions on the Facebook side. It looks like, Brad on the Facebook side, can you reverse directions? Meaning if you are at a particular place, can you search for properties within X miles? I'm not sure I understand the
I'm not sure if I
question.
understand that either.
Oh, I think so. Basically, like here, you can search like this. Let me open up. Hold on. Let me share my screen here again. All right. So you can do this, like search. If you click the arrow in the search bar, it takes you to like where you're at, and then you can zoom out. But yeah, you can't like, I don't know if I'm answering his question. Probably not.
Sure.
I don't know if I understand it completely. Anyway.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you being on. And I'll send out the recording. It's also posted in the command group for your viewing pleasure. And are there any other questions?
We got them all.
Yes, we can we just put criteria like beds and bath? Yeah, and price range. Yes, I don't know if you were here in the very beginning. It was the very first thing I showed everybody. So check out the replay and you'll see how to do that. All right, everyone. Thanks. See you later.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.